Back to business at the GOMTV studio in Mukdong with the GSL Code A. Tosis and Color for you this evening, and we just witnessed a live stop soccer with 2-0, and we have another Protoss versus Terran coming up, one of the matches that all we have been waiting for. We have Puck, we have our Canadian player.
And he's going up against Hack, and that's a pretty darn good match. Hack, you guys are probably like, Hack? No, I don't really know. Why is that a good match? Listen, guys, Caldor, tell me what you know about Hack.
Well, the thing is, I have been talking to Naniwa quite a lot lately, and Hack being a StarTale player, he practices his ass off right now against Protoss. And Nani told me that he actually has an 80% win ratio against Squirtle these days.
Dude, Squirtle is so good PvT.
Exactly, the guy is so good, and apparently Hack has been in such a good shape. I expect actually a lot of him. And the problem that I have with Hack, if I just look at his recent games against Terran, he did not do that well.
That's true. His recent games against Terran haven't been as good. You know, recently it's been a lot of Protosses and Zergs that he's been crushing, so we don't know exactly how his shape is against Terran.
I mean, this is insane. I've seen so many games of him in PvP at MLG, for example, and he's been playing so amazing.
Oh, he just crushes nerds left and right, man.
Terran kind of seems to be the matchup where he has a bit of a problem right now. We talked about the NASL match earlier where he faced Strelok. You watched those as well, didn't you?
It was a rough one, you know. It didn't seem like Huck at his best, so I mean, we'll have to see how that was. Of course, it's an online match, it's a bit different. Huck is great when the lights are on him, so we'll see how he can do it. Of course, don't forget, Hack gets to practice with people like Parting. And Parting is the best, because they're both on StarTale, man, and that makes a big difference.
He's the Terran killer, and this is not going to be easy for Huck, but can you picture Huck being Code B?
I mean, I kind of can. Here's the thing, last time he did fall to Code B, and then he got the seed into Up and Down.
Yeah.
And we'll have to see. He barely didn't make it into Codex again. It was not even decided by him. It was a big tie.
It was GG against Virus.
Yes.
An exciting game.
That was it.
But well, guys, we are jumping into Huck against Hack right now here at the GSL Code A with a Tosis and Caldo. And here we are, powered by Hot 6 once again on Cloud Kingdom. To the top right of the map in the red color, we have our foreigner fighting. It is
E.G. Huck.
E.G. Huck, our Protoss player. He recently lost to Strelok. He lost to Hart at the MLG Winter Championship, and he was defeated by Hart in the same tournament actually twice. But now he is up against the StarTale player at the bottom left of the map. The blue color. We have our Terran. It is
StarTale.
Alright, well, Hack is, I mean, we've already talked about how we've heard, or you've heard, that he's doing sickly well in the matchup. But also I want to point out is that this guy's always been really good. And I want to say it was, I believe, October or November of last year. Didn't he all kill FXO with Xenix? I'm pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure he did. I remember because I was like, oh my god, is this actually happening? And that was against people like Oz. You know, it was like, it was a sick match.
In the GSL?
I believe so.
In October, that was actually just when I came to Korea, so
okay.
I don't really know.
Well, here's what it was. I casted it, so that's why I'm like really remembering it so well. So that makes sense. Caldor was on an airplane when this happened, so he can't confirm, but we're going to go ahead and say that I remember it perfectly.
Look at the winner prediction here. We have 78% in favor of our Protoss. Evil geniuses, Huck.
Well, that's I expect that, you know. Huck has just been one of the most successful Protosses in the world. And, I mean, you got to expect him to win. But, again, we've given evidence that Hack cannot be discounted here. It's going to be a hard match, and Huck knows that, so I'm sure he's prepared very heavily for this match.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, he really wants to show his fans that he is able to compete here at the GSL. It was such an upset when he was dropping down in Code S already. And as you mentioned, he had to play in the up and down matches in order to secure his spot here in the first round of Code A, and this is going to be so intense.
Yeah, it truly is. And, you know, as mentioned before, he did fall to Code B recently, and then got that seed back in because he's just been crushing tournaments abroad, and we have a seeding system so that, you know, top star players are not excluded. So, I mean, even if he does fall out, maybe he'll get that again, or maybe he'll just get right through the Code B stuff. Hard to say. but he definitely just does not want to fall down again. So we're going to see his absolute best play against Terran here.
And we have right now standard builds for both of them. The 1 gate into expand for Huck, while Hack is following his 1 barracks expand up with 2 additional barracks right now and starting with the gas as well. So pretty standard opening for both players.
It's as standard as you can get, really. We can't even predict what they're going to do off of here yet. You know, it's just that much. Little difference with Huck. He did get a second gas very quickly here. Before Robo, before any other gates as well. Of course, he knows there's an expansion, so he is able to do that. And Huck is a Protoss that loves gas. He is, like, he just loves gas, man. He loves to get a lot of gas because he likes sentries. So we'll see if he wants to do any sort of crazy sentry-type bust later on. It's a common build with him.
Does he actually have a second SCV in his opponent's main base right now? I was pretty sure that the first one was killed, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he sent out another one. So we have the second SCV in the main base of Huck at this point. So Hack already getting as many scouting information as possible, and the first sentry, well, it is out.
Yeah, it's still looking pretty standard. I did like that micro by Huck, by the way. He damaged a lot of the Marines, so, you know, let's say, and Huck, of course, can't know right now exactly what the build is that his opponent's doing, so let's say it was like one of these 4 barracks pressure timings. You know, a lot of those Marines are already damaged, so really nice micro by Huck, showing off one of his strengths there.
We talked a little bit about the recent games of Huck, but Hack, our Terran player here, he actually didn't win a game that was actually counted as in a competitive tournament against Protoss in ages, to tell you the truth. Actually, I only can find a game in December that he played against Classic with 2-0. That's the only thing that I can find for him right now in this matchup. Yeah, so he must have been stepping it up a lot, if we can believe all those statements of the StarTale players or players staying there.
Yeah, that's and it makes sense. You know, when you haven't been able to do anything, you're going to try even harder as a pro gamer.
That rogue really in a bad spot. That pilot is not going to happen.
That's rough. You know, Huck wanted to do a little 3-gateway pressure here.
He's like actually going for a Star Wars move here. You don't see this pylon. This is not the pylon you're looking for.
Unfortunately, it was exactly the pylon he was looking for. But Huck does have a second one, so he still can put on some pressure here if he likes. But I'm not so sure it'll work well. Hack already getting that second bunker behind. To really negate force fields as best he can.
We have the Robo now just shown on stream as well, so just started a second ago. And, well, there's the Stargate already with the reactor at the factory. And, well, Hack is ready. He is actually just waiting with the SCVs and returning right now. Double bunker, as Atosis pointed out. And so far, no pressure by Huck.
Yeah, just continuing to warp in some more Zealots and Sentries. We'll see. You know, a lot of times Protoss players will just do another round. They will go up there and see that SCVs are sitting there. Forget it, man. Lose mining time. I'll warp in some more units and check again. And we'll see if he actually ends up doing that. Now, Hack, if he overextends, that would be an issue. Because then Huck could force field those Marines off, and that could spiral out of control.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then suddenly you don't have enough Marines in order to defend. And here comes the attack by Huck now, using the force fields immediately to block the SCVs. Job well done, but all those Zealots at the front getting a lot of damage, tells you.
Great damage done by Huck here. I love how he stopped targeting that bunker the second the units jumped out, and now he's pulled back away. Good job on that aggression. His supply is up by over 10 right now. Hack with a very smart move, though, bringing up his factory to block off some Zealots, and he does have Medivacs and Stim now. So Huck, I don't think that this attack is going to be able to actually finish anything off, and he's got to be careful, because if he loses too many sentries, he's not going to have splash in time, or really enough of any defense to get to his splash to stop these Medivacs.
He's adding a ton of gateways at this point. We already have the transition into Twilight Council as well, and the Forge, while we have the +1 attack upgrade already for his opponent. But look at all these Marines just going to town and taking down sentry after sentry. As you just mentioned, that's the one thing that he can't afford to lose, and he lost like nearly all of them.
Yeah, and now the supply evened up again. In fact, Caldori just had to warp in 2 more sentries. That's 200 less gas for other tech units, and of course he lost a lot of sentries. So, I mean, that's a gigantic deal. While he's trying to tech up, get upgrades, and it looks like he wants to go Colossus as well, you need force fields to stay alive.
He's getting a little bit too much right now. We just saw him get the Twilight Council. He's getting the Forge now. He's getting the Robotic Space. He can't really afford all of this on 2 bases, especially when he needs to reproduce sentries.
Yeah, you know, I think what's happening here is when he lost those sentries, he was like, well, now I can't really go Twilight Tech because it takes a while to get that good army up. I'm going to have to go straight into Colossus here. So I don't think we're going to see that Twilight used for quite some time, and if we do, that's going to be a little bit too greedy, and Hack might be able to take advantage of that.
57 Harvesters for our Protoss player, while Hack has a 48. But still those mules, and wow, he's going for this drop in the main base, but the Stalkers are ready. Will he be able to snipe one of them?
No, he will not, but it looks like he's going to come right up. Great move by Huck here, trying to get all these units as they do drop out of the Medivacs. But Hack with some good micro going behind those force fields, and Huck, could he be in trouble once again? Going to lose some of these Zealots here, and he does not have a lot of force fields left.
Exactly, warping in a few units at the bottom. Now he has a very decent Stalker count, but all the units already being healed for Hack. The Startail player with a Sutter Step now taking down another set of Zealots and retreating right away. Doesn't want to fight anymore.
Yeah, you know, this is actually a very interesting game. I like the moves by both players. Really smart moves. Hack going for the death drop. Huck fending it off and trying to trap the units. The units running behind the force fields that weren't quite perfect. I'm loving it, man. This is actually a very close match between these two.
Yeah, look at the supply. 113 against 112. Both of them going for the third base now. We have the third command center being upgraded to an orbital now in the main base for Hack. At the same time, Huck with another Nexus. And here comes our Terran player again, trying to poke in, trying to just snipe this Nexus, force a cancel.
Well, there's a lot of Marines in there, and there is a Colossus out, so this army could be devastated. He's got to be careful, but a lot of Medivacs are in there as well, and he's going to run. He sees that Colossus and says, well, with that many sentries and a Colossus, these Marines don't stand a chance, so good runaway here by Hack.
No extended thermal lance, focusing a little bit more on the gateway upgrades here with a +1/+1 on its way. And now immediately, obviously, the Startail player, Hack, he has to get those Vikings. He has to get Vikings, and here comes the extended thermal lance upgrade, so Huck not forgetting about it, just delaying it a little bit to give the advantage to his Forge upgrades.
You know, I gotta say, I really like the spot that Hack's in here, and hold on, we do have a drop coming in. Huck's starting to warp units in the second he sees it, but this could be hard to hold. That is not enough units, those 3 Zealots. Not gonna do a whole lot. In fact, warping some more Zealots, they're not even gonna have an easy time to get around. A Colossus does have to come up. At the same time, we have an attack at the third base of Huck, and he actually snipes a Colossus, but Huck looks like he should have enough here to actually hold this off, and Hack is going to have to back up.
Hack with a beautiful move with his Marines and Medivacs, just picking up the dire units and making sure that those force field pocket is not doing anything in the main base. The Colossus just survived, so Huck with a nice defense here.
Yeah.
I really like what he did, but at the same time he dropped behind in supply by quite a bit.
Yeah, that was actually kind of wild how that happened, but Huck going to go ahead and harass the third base. Oh my god, 22 SCVs killed. That was pretty big. But anyways, Huck going to go ahead and harass the third base of Hack, but oh no, this just means he's going to lose even more of his supply, which is a huge deal. I love the position that Hack is in right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's up in supply, and the one thing that we have to really mention, you mentioned it before, but he still has 6 Medivacs, and he's making his Vikings. So, I mean, what's a great thing about Colossus is when they're down at 2 Medivacs, you know, maybe 4 Medivacs, and then they have to start making Vikings. But right now he's got a healthy amount, and Hack just, everything looks great for him. He can transition to anything, play a very long game from here. Huck has to play catch-up.
Huck just lost so many probes. That's the main problem that he's facing right now. Oh, a nice pick off. Yeah, everything is just working against Huck at this point. Hack is able to kill a lot of probes. He is so far ahead in the worker count. He has the mules as well. He's on 3 bases, and he's completely dominating the game. Every single time that Huck tries to get aggressive, Hack is there with a few units, with a few Vikings to pick up the War Prism, with just the right amount of bio units to kill those Zealots that he warped in. And this is so difficult for our Canadian player.
Yeah, it's a tough spot. And now he's down by over 60 supply. Hack is getting into position. His +2 attack is almost finished, but Huck does have that 1/1. He does have a Colossus in this army and a couple of Mortals, but you know, I don't think this is actually going to end up being enough. And in fact, taking a lot of damage right now, charging up, but this is a lot of units, and down goes the Colossus. Doesn't matter how many force fields he has here. Hack is going to be very cost efficient.
80 supply ahead. Startail Hack is doing a really great job here. The force fields are gone, and now he's just steaming up the ramp. GG. Huck leaves the game, and the Startail player is up 1-0. Hack against Huck ends in favor of our Korean.
Yes, but it's just 1-0. Huck still has plenty of time to come back here. Hack showing a lot of skill that game. Very impressed with his play. I loved the early and mid game there. They were just so evenly matched. But at the end of the day, Hack, with all of his medevacs, was just too cost-efficient, got too far ahead in his supply.
This drop just caught him completely off guard. The drop with the 2 medevacs, and he just swapped in a few zealots. It was not enough, and the one... well, we had the one single Colossus that he was able to defend at least a little bit against the drop play, but he lost just way too many Harvesters there.
Yeah, he really did. You know, he dropped in Harvesters, and not just that, his Colossus got down really low in the main base against just a drop, which is something you don't want to see happen. And the one at the natural, or the third base rather, got sniped because he was kind of busy micro in the main. This can happen, you know, when you're getting hit in multiple places, you don't pull your Colossus back, and now you have one less Colossus for the big fight, and that matters.
Do you see those amazing pickoffs? There was a nice force field pocket by Huck.
Oh, yeah.
Huck immediately reacted and took the medevac and picked off all the units. He just made sure that the force fields were not as effective as they could have been. So really amazing play by Hack here. And, well, Huck is going to face him again on Antigua now.
Yeah, and, you know, we'll have to see how Huck can do here. I'm going to give him a little bit better chance. Antigua, a map he's played countless tournament matches on, so he should be feeling a little bit better, even though, you know, Cloud Kingdom, that's rotating in quite heavily. I'm liking Huck's chances here. It's pretty close last game, Caldor.
I really hope that we are going to see an ace match between these two.
Oh, definitely.
This is definitely one of the matches where an ace match would be so great. And, well, the game is about to start, guys. We have the second game between Huck against Hack. This is going to be another Protoss versus Terran, this time on Antigua Shipyard. The GSL Code A with the Toasters and Caldo.